Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Indian School of Physics. This is Nitin here, and today again I have come up with a very interesting problem. So conceptually this question is very rich, and I'm sure it will give a very good ideas of handling JEE problems. So here is the statement of this problem. A uniform rod of mass m length L is leaning against a triangular wedge of same mass. By making angle of theta with the horizontal, the system is released from the state of rest. All surfaces are smooth and there is no friction anywhere. Find the normal forces acting at the ends of the rod and acceleration of the wedge just after release. So here you can see that this wedge and the rod, the system is placed on a smooth horizontal surface and system is released in uniform gravity, and this angle of inclination at the initial instant is given as theta equal to 45, and we have to find the normal forces acting on this rod just after release. So this question is very simple if we are finding just after release. However, it becomes slightly complicated once the omega develops in the rod and or the velocity develops in the rod and the wedge. Then this problem becomes very challenging. However, idea remains the same. So let's discuss the question here. So if we draw the free body diagram of this rod, the forces which are acting on this rod is normal reaction N2 from the ground, and the normal reaction which is acting from the wedge, and there is the weight mg. Now this rod is in combined motion, so we don't know how exactly its center of mass will be moving. It will be moving randomly in some direction, not along the rod, but some random direction it will be moving. So we can take its center of mass is having acceleration component ax in x direction and ay in y direction. At the same time, just after release, some alpha also is going to develop in this rod due to the torque provided. So I can write the equation of translation of this rod. Simply I can write N1 is equal to m times ax, and in vertical direction I can write mg minus N2 is equal to m times ay. So these are the equation for translation motion of this rod. And if I take torque about center of mass of this rod, about this I'm choosing the center of mass because all other points are accelerated, so we need to apply pseudo force. However, about center of mass, torque due to pseudo force becomes zero. So for better calculations and convenient, I am choosing the torque point as center of mass of the rod. So since I'm taking alpha to be in anti-clockwise sense, so I'm assuming torque of N2 is more compared to torque of N1. So I'll be writing it as N2 into about this N2 into L cos theta is going to come here. You can see here this is going to be cos theta component here. There is a slight correction. So you can see here N2 into L by 2 cos theta. So I'll write this correction here. This is going to be cos theta, and similarly this part is going to be sin theta. This part is going to be sin theta. However, it is not going to affect our answer because I have chosen theta equal to 45 degree. So both values are going to be same. So that's why there will not be any effect due to this, and that is equal to ICM into alpha. That is going to be ICM into alpha. I hope this equation is clear to you. Torque of N2 about this point I can write it as N2 into this distance, which is L by 2 cos theta. Similarly, torque of N1, that is going to be about this point mg into L by 2 sin theta. So this is what I have written here. Now you can see, similarly I'll draw the free body diagram of the wedge, and I can write here this normal reaction will be acting at this point. I'm not interested in this normal reaction N3 and its weight mg. They will be balancing each other. So simply I can write N1 is equal to capital M times A, and which is also equal to M times AX from the equation of translation of this rod. So AX is equal to A. So next, if you see here, the number of unknowns we have is N1 is one unknown, AX 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 6 unknown, and we are having 4 equations, so we need 2 more equations. So those 2 equations I'll be getting from the constraint relation, which is constraint. I'll be writing it as at these 2 contact points. The constraints here I'll be using at these 2 points. So let's discuss those constraints. They are very important tool of solving question relating the unknowns. So here, if you see the rod, it is having acceleration component AX in horizontal direction, AY in vertical direction, and this alpha in anti-clockwise sense. So at point Q, this rod is sliding along X direction, maintaining the contact in this vertical direction. So definitely in vertical direction, velocity has to be 0, and if velocity is 0, we can differentiate that relation and we will be getting acceleration relation here. However, directly I'm applying this constraint using acceleration, though actually it is for velocity. But since omega has not developed just after release, so I am able to write directly as acceleration relation. Otherwise, if there was omega present in this, we should write velocity and then differentiate it in order to get the acceleration relation. So here you can see this point has AX in horizontal direction, AY in downward direction, and due to rotation, this L by 2 alpha, it will be perpendicular to the rod. So I can call this angle as theta. Now in vertical direction, velocity is 0 all the time for this because it is sliding in horizontal direction. So vertical velocity of point Q is 0. If I differentiate, I'll be getting acceleration relation. And in terms of directly this acceleration, AY is going to be L by 2 alpha cos theta. Alright, so this is one equation, extra equation we are getting by constraint. Similarly, at point P, I can write for point P, you can see it's AX in horizontal direction, AY this side, and due to rotation, this alpha is going to be L by 2 alpha perpendicular to the rod in this direction. Now, this point is in contact with the wedge. So I can say velocity of this point on the rod and velocity of this point on the wedge will be same as long as this contact is maintained. So this is also called as rigid body constraints. However, we should always apply the condition of constraint only on velocity. Acceleration may or may not be true, but since in this situation here we are dealing with just after release, omega has not developed in this case, so I can definitely write it as in terms of acceleration. So here the acceleration of this point from the wedge is A, so definitely acceleration of this point also is going to be A in this direction. So here I can write A is equal to L by 2 alpha sine theta minus AX. This is my next equation. Now I have 6 equations, 6 unknowns. So if I simplify them, I'll be getting AX equal to A is equal to 3g by 13 and AY is equal to 6g by 13. When I simplify, I'll be getting N1 is equal to 3mg by 13 and N2 is equal to 7mg by 13. These are the answers for this problem. I'm not explaining the calculation part. I hope you can do that on your own. So if you have enjoyed this problem, please leave a like, share it with other students and teachers. This problem is very nice problem and a perfect candidate for advanced type of exam, JEE advanced type of exam. And there is a lot of learning involved in this problem. So that's it in this problem, and I'll be bringing another problem very soon. Thank you very much.